Hey everybody, welcome to the newest episode of The Bearded Gamer Show. Now as always, I'm your host, The Bearded Gamer, Chris Arnone. Now, some sad news. Now some of you have been keeping up with my Twitter or my Facebook accounts and you'll have heard about this already. This is the final episode of The Bearded Gamer Show. It's been a wonderful ride. I have enjoyed every minute of it, but alas, it's time to close the curtain on The Bearded Gamer Show. Been a little bit of an emotional week coming to grips with this. There's been some great moments. Some things have happened in my life as a result of the Bearded Gamer Show that have been wonderful. But I'm refocusing my efforts on writing my book and doing some local stuff in the Kansas City area with different performing groups. So to finish off the Bearded Gamer Show, I'm not going to talk about the video game industry this week. I know. Turn off if you don't want to hear about the rest of this. But what it's going to be instead, my top 5 moments, my 5 favorite moments from a year of the Bearded Gamer Show. Now, number 5, I was at Motaku. We're talking Bearded Gamer Show at Motaku. Now, Motaku is a local anime convention. It's run every year for the past several years. A couple good friends of mine are in charge of it. And I've been their video game room director for the last couple of years. And this year, with the Bearded Gamer Show, I filmed on location 2 episodes, not just 1, but 2 episodes of the Bearded Gamer Show. One from the Modern Gaming Room and one from the vendor's room right at the Gamer's Paradise booth. And you know what? I just feed so much on having people there in the room. Sometimes in the studio, you know, I've always got Paul. Sometimes my fiance, Christy, will be there. Sometimes Paul's girlfriend and business partner, Angie. Sometimes Eldorian from Blizz Planet. But usually never more than 4 or 5 people. And oftentimes it's just me and Paul. But I feed off that energy, off of having people there. I majored in theater. It breathes so much life into it. And I could talk about this all day. Instead, here's a clip from The Bearded Gamer from Motaku. Hey guys, welcome to the newest episode of The Bearded Gamer Show. As always, I'm your host, The Bearded Gamer, Chris Arnone. And you might notice things are a little different today, huh? Different mic, totally different surroundings. I am at Motaku right now in the Modern Gaming Room, sponsored by Gamer's Paradise. And tell you what, this has just been awesome. You're in this room, you can hear Bohemian Rhapsody and Rock Band 3 at least 6 times an hour. We got Persona 4 Arena. We've got, I think, Capcom versus Tatsunoko over there. We've got Street Fighter Cross Tekken, Mortal Kombat, all kinds of stuff, all kinds of awesome tournaments. There's still another day left of this. It's crazy and it's fun. It's good times. And of course, I'm the video games rooms director. It's good. It's awesome. Pretty cool stuff, right? Number 4, this was the Bearded Wii U debate. Now, this may have not been my best video of all time. In fact, unfortunately, because of a copyright strike, I had to keep it down to 15 minutes. Because it would have been a lot better if I could have just unloaded on that one. But what was really cool is having my best friend and fellow bearded gamer, Matt Ashbaugh, in the studio with me to talk. And we're so alike in so many ways, but especially when it comes to gaming, we're so very different in so many ways. It can really make for some great debates. We frequently have them via text or via Facebook message. But in this case, we really wanted to get down to brass tacks. He's a big Nintendo fan. I am, well, not so much. For those who watch the show, they're well aware of this. And so it was good to, you know, have that point and counterpoint about Nintendo's big upcoming console. Here's a clip of it. So let's talk about the gamepad utilization. And you know, obviously with something like this, a new peripheral, there's going to be some games that use it really, really well, and some games that I'm afraid are underutilizing it. So let's talk about the utilizing it well. Now, purposely, I saw Black Ops 2. I think having that second player on their own screen is fantastic. And granted, you know, we grew up on freaking GoldenEye, where there'd be 4 guys huddled around a 19-inch television split 4 ways. So doing 2-player split screen on a 55-inch LED is like, whatever. But still, having the idea where you can't even, well, the guy's sitting, I guess, here, unless they can look at each other while they're playing. One guy's looking past him. But, you know, having their own screens, I think, is great. Nintendo Land, obviously, but that's like the tech demo.
It's a giant. It's basically their Wii Sports. It's going to be explaining how you can use this new thing to everybody, and it does it well from what I've played. But you know,
yeah. And then of course the other obvious one, once again, to me, is Scribblenauts. It's like, well done. The reason that Scribblenauts is so successful on the DS is because of the 2 screens. Because you draw on one and stuff happens on the top. So this is just that on a bigger scale.
It was actually the only game that I had to actually bust out the stylus. Yeah, you forgot. It has a stylus. You actually have to bust out the stylus because there's a lot of fine-tuned things you will do on that touchpad for entering things and moving little pieces and coloring specific things. But yeah, again, Rayman Legends is probably one of the better ones that I've seen do the gamepad, because the person on the gamepad, they're doing completely different things. They're doing a bunch of touch-based stuff, and it is required to do that, or the person who's actually doing the platformer, they can't get through.
Because two beards are always better than one. Oh yeah. Number 3, okay, now we're going to go back all the way to the very first episode of the Bearded Gamer Show. I nicknamed it the Movember Menace. Yes, play on a terrible movie, but that was kind of the point. It was Movember, which is a charity that goes to fight men's cancers. The whole idea is on October 31st, you shave off all your facial hair and grow just a mustache through the month of November, and you do this fundraiser, and we raised a few $100. I looked ridiculous for the entire month, but what was extra crazy was that we actually started the Bearded Gamer Show basically in November, and I'd been planning this for a while, so I started the Bearded Gamer Show with a clean-shaven face, and the first month was just with this ridiculous mustache. It was bonkers. But the best part, in that first episode, and you're going to see it here once again, me shaving to music. Check it out.
And there it is.
So there you go, a man shaving to music. Always entertaining. My number 2. Now this is something, it was a really fun joke right around the time that Skyrim came out. And I did a couple of these throughout the run of the show. I tried not to push them too much because I thought they'd get a little stale, and I need to make sure that if I did something like this, it was truly inspired and truly hilarious. And I still think it is. It still cracks me up when I watch it, and I still show it to people. And it's something I refer to as, my third arm. Let's just leave it at that and check it out. God, I love this game.
I wish I had a third arm so I could play this game and wank off to it at the same time. Oh,
Always, always funny. Third arm jokes are always funny. Okay, my number 1, my absolute favorite moment of the Bearded Gamer Show is still something that's very near and dear to my heart. It's a very rare thing doing video game journalism to be able to touch on something real, to touch on something that matters and has importance in the world, something that's political and it's powerful and it's controversial. And this is what happened for me. It was Scarlett, who is a StarCraft II champion, is also a transgender gamer. And after she had to deal with just a volley of hatred and venom on the internet, I thought I needed to do something. So first off, we have a Blizz Planet video where I interviewed Wick Thomas, who is a local LGBT activist and overall just amazing, amazing person. But also on my own show, I brought in a good friend of mine named Nicole, who is a transgender gamer, because it's so hard for me to explain or to understand. I'm just this big bearded, straight white guy. So to understand where someone who is transgender, how that path begins, what drives someone to that, I couldn't explain it. So I brought her in, and she did such a wonderful job, and it was so heartfelt, and just some of the best interactions in the community and responses we got back, and this did so much for her, I think, and from what I've been able to tell, to help her sort of come out of that shell and confront all of those issues that she's been fighting against, and to give transgender gamers a voice and a face, and it was fantastic. I could go on, but instead, here's a clip from that absolutely wonderful, wonderful interview.
What was it like for you living as a man for more than 20 years?
Terrible. I just didn't feel like that was who I was. It didn't mesh with anything. I was depressed all the time. I was just really down. I couldn't accept anything. I pretty much gave up on every single thing I ever did. Outside of gaming, it just became my crutch. All I did was just sit around and play games. I mean, I would just marathon one until it was done, and that was pretty much the only reason I even played RPGs at the time. I mean, all through high school, all through college and things like that, you're just worried about somebody finding this weird little thing out, like just everybody rejecting you at all times. So it just buries itself. And once that seed gets in there, it just grows and grows and grows, and your situation just gets worse and worse until I just had a breakdown. I mean, I tried to kill myself. I don't even remember how many times. Basically, if it wasn't for my ex-girlfriend at the time, she pretty much would stand watch, and if somebody else was in the house, she would have them stand watch. And eventually, when it just got to the point where I couldn't even handle not being able to physically do it, I would just starve myself. Things like that. It eats away at you so much.
So thank you so much to everyone, all of the viewers, all the fans, Nicole, every other guest I've had, which not been that many, honestly. It's been a wonderful ride. You know, through this show, I actually met my now fiance, the woman I'm going to marry. She actually went to school with Paul, my cameraman's girlfriend and business partner, so that's how we met. Had that wonderful time addressing transgender issues in gaming. And, it's time for me to move on to bigger and better things, focusing on my book, doing local performing things in the Kansas City community. So if you're local here, hey, keep an eye out. Chris Arnone, I'm going to be around on some stages, doing some stuff. Good times. And, check out Blizz Planet. There's still going to be some videos. I will still be on them. We're actually taking a break for November, but we will be back in December with more videos. There will also be some changes coming to the Facebook and Twitter pages. You just have to wait and see. I'm still figuring out exactly how that's going to go down. But thank you all so much for the last year of lending me your words, watching my videos, and being on this ride with me. Thanks.